all I have to do, run my thumb over the hole.
What? Damn, how you do it? What the hell, man? Freaking magician over here.
What's up, you guys? I'm Jarek120, and today I'm gonna teach you how to do healed and sealed, where an empty can of pop magically restores itself after being crushed. You squeeze it with your muscles, and then magically it uncrushes itself, and then you rub your thumb or your finger over the seal, and it disappears. Before I get into it, in grand retrospect, the hole is an illusion. We're going to use one of these cutout holes that I've designed years ago. I made one of these tabs, and I'm leaving a download link in the description. I used to send these out. I don't send them out anymore just because I get asked for it too much. So there's a download link in the description where you can download and get this piece of paper yourself and go to a printer and print out this exact piece of paper, this size, and these holes perfectly fit this lid hole right here. So go download that, or you can make your own and follow along at home for the sake of the tutorial, and then go download and print this off afterwards. Aside from that, what you're going to need is some scissors, because you're going to need to cut out the hole. You're going to need a glass, or if you're doing this outside, that's okay, because you're going to poke a hole in the side of the can and drain some of the Coke, about 1/3 of it. And that's going to allow you to crush the can, and the carbon dioxide is going to uncrush the can if your thumb is over it. I'm explaining this very quickly, but I just kind of want you to understand how the trick works. So what I have here is a Raven, which I use because it has a safety pin attached to it, and I use this to poke the hole in the can, and then the elastic allows me to pull away without really getting any of the pop on me. And yes, I say pop because I'm from Michigan. You want to fight about it? Or you can use a pin if you want to get pop all over yourself. But I have a glass here, but you can use a sink. Go to a bathroom, set this up beforehand. Before you walk into a party, go outside and set this up beforehand. So again, if you're at home, you can use one of these pins. But what I'm going to use is a safety pin that I get with my Raven X2 here. And I also get the question, what's better to you, the Raven X2 or the Raven? And the answer to that is the Raven, the original Raven. So what I'm going to do is set up my glass, and I'm going to go to the side of the can, because my thumb, I'm going to hold the can like this when I do the effect, when I go to restore it. And what you do is just pick a place around here to poke a hole in. So you poke a hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over here, over the glass, and I'm going to pull at this just to get rid of it, so it doesn't spill all over me. There you go. And you're trying to get rid of about 1/3 of the pop. Now you can shake this a little bit, and what that's going to do is just make it like when you get up in the morning and you have to pee really bad, and it's just like, oh my god, I don't know why, but it's like a flood, man. It's like, so you shaking it makes it do that. So we've gotten rid of some of the pop. The remaining carbon dioxide in the can last you about 2 hours, but you don't want to wait too long, because what is happening is air and like the carbon monoxide that builds the pressure in the can, which makes it explode when you shake it. That's slowly coming out of this hole. And so I've done it where I've waited too long to do the trick, and the can does not uncrush itself. So I would, you want to do it like within the first 40 minutes of poking this hole. The next step is you can put the can to the side, and you're going to cut out one of these holes. And again, you can download this piece of paper so you can perform this trick yourself. It is the first link you see in the description. So feel free to get it. It's completely free, and I've ruined this paper faster than I've used up all of these. Like, this allows you to perform the trick like 80 something times or something nuts like that. So from here, what you want to do is just trace around the paper, or around the black hole, the fake black hole. You want to trim more on the inside than the outside. You don't want any white showing on here. So if you're gonna cut off like any extra pieces, or like when you're doing this, make sure you're trimming off black around the edges. But if you don't, then you can fix this easily with a Sharpie. If there's white, this trick was almost designed purposefully for you to take your own piece of paper, figure out the shape of the hole, and then cut your own hole around it, and then color it in black Sharpie. And I just got tired of that, so I decided to make this piece of paper that has just a ton of lids and holes on it. So there is our fake hole. And what you're going to do from here is I usually bend it. I'll bend it towards the can, like so the edges are concave. And then also, again, concave this way. You want it just bent in both ways, so the center of the black is pretty much pointing outward, because that's going to allow it to mold around the lid more. Just take this and put it on your tongue. You're just getting that wet, and what that's going to allow you to do, or allow the can to do, is have this stick to the can. And what you can also do is lick the lid. Just get that moist somehow, and you bend this even more. And another thing I do is I'll go underneath this tab right here, and I'll try to pull up a little bit. And all that's going to allow me to do is more easily place the black circle where it needs to be, because you don't really want the paper to get scrunched up inside of it. You know, I like to help my audience not just learn these magic tricks, but learn how to be an entertainer and go out and perform them to real people. Something that helped me was reading self-improvement books. And right now my friends at Audible are offering my listeners a free audiobook of your choice and a free 30-day trial membership. Just go to audible.com/disturbedreality and choose from over 150,000 titles. Claim your free audiobook today to get a bestseller, fiction, nonfiction, or a self-help book, which I would recommend. Go to audible.com/disturbedreality to get started. Books like Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and The Art of Speed Reading People are all books I would recommend for learning how to better your social skills and confidence. Go to audible.com/disturbedreality to get your free audiobook and 30-day trial today. You're going to take the can, and I'm just going to tell you how it works. There are a lot of performances online of people doing healed and sealed. What I like to say is there's muscle power and then there's brain power. Something like that. Something stupid. And what you're going to do is you can turn the can on its side, and they think it's an empty can. And what you do is cover the hole and say, alright, look, I'm going to shake off all the extra remains. So you're covering that hole, nothing's going to get out. Then what you can do is watch. I'm going to take the can and crush it. And you want to crush it not to the point where there is sharp dents here. It doesn't need to be, as long as they know that it's crushed. And from here, you can even plant it on the ground and have people like walk by it, and then you pick it up. People see that can. That is an empty, crushed can of Coca-Cola. And no one is going to be able to tell anyone else otherwise. That is an insanely delicious illusion. From here, you can take the can, you can hold it flat in your hand and show, look, here's what I'm going to try to do. Take the crushed can, and again, from here, you can show that it's empty and be like, look, there's nothing inside of it. And this is from your perspective. And you're going to take the can, and you're going to shake it slowly, because if you shake it too much, you hear that? You don't want them to hear it. So you want to shake it so it's side to side enough, because what this is doing is your thumb is blocking off the hole. If I move my thumb, you can hear that tss, and that is the carbon dioxide trying to push itself out. And because there is liquid missing from inside of it, more carbon dioxide is inside of it wanting to fill the can. you can see it starting to uncrush itself, and that is just science at its best. And the more you hold it, I can feel it starting to push itself. The more you shake it, it's going to, then they'll see it. They'll start to see it uncrush itself. You can have this happen slow, you can have this happen fast, but by the time it's done, that crushed can is the closest it's going to be to being completely restored, perfectly symmetrical, back to the way it was. So now you still have an empty can, but what you're going to do from here is you're going to cover your thumb over the hole, and it's all you're doing is stealing off that fake hole. From here, push hard tight, because you do not want your thumb to let loose and everyone hear that. So don't do that. Just hold tight, squeeze tight the whole time, and after it's uncrushed itself, you'll feel it trying to push out of that hole. From here, come over with your thumb, be like, look, that's still an empty can though. If I take it, I can rub over it, and all you're doing is stealing it off, palming it like that, and they'll see this. And what you can pretty much instantly do from here, you have 86 more of these guys or whatever. You can just drop your hand, just like completely dead weight, and toss that bitch to the ground. And then you can crack it open. They're going to be so focused on the can. What you can do is, if you're outside, pour it to the ground. If you're in a party, take one of those plastic cups or some kind of cup, show that there's pop inside of it. And you want to pour it out because you have to not have the can be full. You pour some out because there's already a third of this pop missing. So if you just cracked it and gave it to them, they will feel that it's not full. So you have to pour it out, let them see the brown liquid or whatever pop or beer or beverage, carbonated soda, drink that you want. Then give it to them. Then they'll sip it, and it's going to be a fresh, tasty, cold new beverage. And while they're showing this to whoever else or looking away, maybe go back to where you threw that little black piece of paper that no one knows what that was. No one has any idea to expect what that is. Why would anyone pick that up from the ground? It's filthy. No one's going to find that crumpled up paper unfiltered. Like, no, that looks a lot like the hole of a pop can. So just ditch it, and you will be the talk of the town, walk away with a miracle. Yeah, you grab their hands, you pull them in closer, you can put this in your mouth, maybe they'll mirror what you do, maybe you end up kissing them.
Do you want to see a trick magic? I meant, do you want to see a magic trick? I blew it!